Pangboy na mano ang ako.
Yes.
Akong term ato. My definition of a leader is someone who does good that is worthy to be emulated.
Good morning, Maing Buntag. Welcome to Padayon, a Cebu Business Month podcast, where we interview the brightest minds in the country. I am your host, Anthony Noel. Before we dive in, please follow us on our socials, such as Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, among others. Today, we have the opportunity to interview my idol, Cebu Chamber of Commerce President, Jay Yuvallos. Maayong buntag.
Maing buntag.
Maayong buntag.
Daghang salamat.
Thank you. To start off with our podcast, Pastor Jay, we'd like to see, get to know you more. Definitely, we've had several talks about your childhood, kadtong bugoy-bugoy ta dito sa koan, magkoan tag free meal dito sa church. Unsa to, kadtong imong mga time, kadtong sa mga bakery, imong mga storya. What was your childhood dream? What made you who you are right now? But was it your first consideration? Kung unsa ba to? Is it something that has happened now? Let's talk about that, Pastor Jay.
Dako og kalainan because originally gusto ko mahimong lawyer. That was really my childhood aspiration. But as you can see, kanang wala gyud ko abogado. So nahimo kong isa ka negosyante and may na lang kay kanang maka-afford man ta mo hire og mga abogado.
Yeah. So it was something na di man sad ta mo ingon nga it was really divergent, but it was still something na you were able to assess na a level of success that you were trying to peg.
Yeah, in fact kanang wala man tayo ma-complain sa kuan kanang blessing nga gihatag sa Ginoo nato we take on not only roles as a businessman but also there is mga kalihukan nga ni involved ta. So I think the purpose is the same. Kadtong akong childhood dream nga mahimong abogado is murag driven ba to nga kanang gusto ta mo defend sa kadtong mga wala sa town ba.
Yeah.
And in the same vein karon kanang we also wanted to give back to the community in the roles that we play.
Another question, Pastor Jay. There was, with your hard work, I think, with, let's say, the very first hard-earned peso, you mentioned to me in the past that you've been at it even at an early stage in childhood. What was your first purchase and why did you purchase that? What's your prized possession in such other words?
Pag sugod na kong negosyo, I started as a subcontractor for carpentry. I was still, I think, in college, sugod-sugod. The very first thing I did is, kung unsa tong akong naginansya for that particular PO, I gave it back to all the workers.
Wow.
Pangboy na mano ang ako.
Yes.
Atong term ato. But eventually, I think the first purchase nga akong gihimo is to buy a motorcycle.
Wow.
Simply for the reason of mobility. Kaya mas may good nang, natay kana makaadto ta o gamit sa negosyo and the things that we do.
Bit of luxury and di na ta mo commute nga practicalize sad.
Practical.
Para kuan sad makalihok sad ta sa atong mga negosyo. Another thing, Press Jay, you were a graduate of SGR or even like in your schooling, kanang madto patag library, magmano-mano patag research. Pero like what was the difference that you see now? I mean with the kids now. Like there's digital, like, we've been talking about how digital has moved beyond bounds good things. So what is your take on it? AI and other things.
My life in college has always been characterized by my involvement in organizations, even the Supreme Student Council.
Yeah.
So karon ang dakong kalahian is mga bata karon is kung na-focus kaayo sa screen, kanang some of those things are missing. So I even tell my kids that when you graduate, that is not really a graduation per se, but that is a starting point for you to explore the world and to explore your purpose and your direction. So how do you use that and how you leverage technology is a different story altogether.
Yeah, very good,
Uh,
Press J. Good story. I mean, I guess it was the foundation of how you are today, no? Like you're a guy that's, in several boards, several businesses. Like you're everywhere. East Asia Business Council, Cebu Chamber President, among many other roles, no? Whether it be in the boards of multinationals or, of course, our local conglomerates, which is now a multinational, or in your own business. What's your tips or advice on, how you manage your time?
I live by this principle that I kanang also learned many years ago, no? And it says, choose carefully what to say yes, and everything else is no. So, for a guy like me, a lot of people will say, grabe ka-busy, unsay daghan kay ka og gibuhat. I think I would also say nga, there are also so many other things that I really don't do. Because, life is not perfect, but kaning nga prinsipyo guided me to choose wisely so that I can be effective. Otherwise, anything goes lang, di ba?
Yes.
So actually, that is Mr. Pauline Nazareno of PLDT many years back. In one of the learning sessions we had in the chamber. Mo na yung gisulti, and I said, wow, that really makes sense. No?
Yeah.
And I realized nga I have to be discerning if you want to be effective with your time. But not saying kanang boring ang life, but
Yeah.
you have to, it's all about balance, man.
Yeah, exactly, Pastor Jay. I mean, you've shared so many adventures, so many, stories about how you started with Press J. But just to share with our viewers now, how important of a value that you mentioned that you were hands-on on everything from the start?
I think I remember, no, katong gisulti anta ka na carpentry work, and
Yeah.
for example, katong plywood, no, was
Yes.
one of the main materials that we use. So sa una mabuntagan ko diha sa Shakey's,
Oh,
diha
yeah.
sa Mango na
Oh,
kay kanang everyone was sa costing dagko og wastage ba, no? So ako I don't have any background on engineering. In fact, the first things that I have to learn is how to compute an area, no? Length times width, ana ba, no? Kinahanglan paghimo og cutting list o paghimo og cutting plan. So I have to learn that and learn that quickly because that is my line of business. So mabuntagan ko dito because I have to make sure akong i-simulate kung kani ang configuration, iyon ani yung pag-cutting nga to the barest minimum yun ang waste kay ug mahimo abog na lang ang waste, no, kay nigabas nimo na dunay abog. But that also gave me the much needed extra income kay any kind of wastage that you save is actually profit. At the same time, it also gave me the discipline.
very impressive, Press J. And, with all the hard work and with all the time on your travels, no, dedicated with your work, like, was there like a question on your work-life balance? What is your belief in that? And any tips on how you were able to maintain, of course, time to be successful in work, but also to be successful in your family life?
Balance is very important. Within that principle is really being centered. No? What is really your core ba, no? Your core beliefs, your relationship with God, your prioritization sa imong pamilya, the many things that you do. It has to be centered on the Christian values that I so hold dear, no?
Well, you're a leader, and of course, leader in the community, leader, of course, in your family, leader in business. I guess this segues later on how you would define a leader.
Sige, and my definition of a leader is someone who does good that is worthy to be emulated. no, or worthy to be followed. So it's not really about a position, or it's not really about your status, no. So you keep on doing good. For me, I am just kanang a servant pa. I just serve, I just show up, I just kuan, uh, contribute whatever I have, no.
In our several encounters, Press J, you have been given us strategic guidance and led us the way, no? Being the shepherd in the business chamber. Was there like a definition of how you would emphasize leader in words, like, for example, launch, engage, activate, develop, and establish results? Do you believe that this is needed towards the agenda of for the chamber and how it would contributing to the progress of Cebu?
Yes. Before I got elected, no, or chosen to be the next president of the chamber, kanang more or less, the succession planning magod of the chamber is more established. And then I was told, and there was consensus that you're going to be the next president of the chamber. So what I did initially was to really ask questions, and I asked past presidents, past trustees, and also I checked what do we really represent, no, as a chamber to the business community and to the people of Cebu. So I listened. So mo to nga nakain ko nga murag these are gaps. The acronym leader, as far as the leadership agenda of the chamber is concerned, is really an action signal. So letter L stands for launching the
Yes.
brand for Cebu in terms of investment and business, because we did not have, or how can we say, kanang ari mo sa Cebu, and then this is what we can offer you. So that there was a gap, and that is launching that brand. Invest in Cebu, prosper in Paradise.
Yes.
So the letter E is engagement. So we have to engage more, no? Kay we don't want the chamber to be seen in isolation or kanang elitist or pararani sa kuan, but really engaging the whole community, no? Kay mao man ang vision sa Cebu Chamber, to be the engine of Cebu's business growth towards global competitiveness. And that statement alone is requires engagement up to the people of Cebu, no?
Yeah.
Kay it has to be inclusive, and that is enshrined in our vision.
Yeah.
The letter A is active partnerships, because the chamber cannot do it alone. Government cannot do it alone. Our leaders also said the same. And conglomerates or business support organizations, even civil society, even the media, plays a huge role. So we consider everyone partners for the development of Cebu. And then what is the result? Developing an ecosystem for innovation and creativity. Because how can we be globally competitive if we cannot develop that ecosystem here? If we cannot create the right environment for innovation and creativity to thrive. Goodbye global competitiveness. Grabe na kayo, no? You travel yourself.
Yeah.
Makita na to gyud og unsa na ang nahitabos gawas, and then we have a lot of catching up to do.
Yes.
So that's lead. Then E is establishing legacy projects. There are legacy projects sa chamber. Cebu Business Month is a legacy project. Our chamber building, the initiatives that we have will soon become legacy projects. Fish Visayas project, or the other interventions that we do, no? Our training programs are already in that sort. On the bigger ecosystem for Cebu, these bridges are legacy projects. We have 3, and there's one more coming.
Yes.
We have New Star, we have the SRP. These are legacy projects brought about by the leaders in Cebu. So we want to cement and establish more of the same legacy projects. And of course, we want to focus on the results of what we do. So we want to simplify our metrics, our how do we measure success in the chamber, and then we trust and really kanang hope nga there will be significant impact ngadto sa business community, and more importantly to the kanang mga tao sa Cebu ba, ang mga Cebuano nga ma-feel yun nila or maka-impact yun sa dili lang karon kundi as we in the future, the children, the people of Cebu will really have that hope and aspiration that we can really be indeed world class.
You mentioned about invest in Cebu, prosper in paradise. It's something of a slogan that through the past several months has been resonating with the business communities and the chamber members. Perhaps you can expand more in it and share more on that thought.
We did a branding journey because the first step to come up with a brand message like this is really about discovering what Cebu is all about. So we did that branding journey. It's a very disciplined process. We had experts from Manila and through the outfit of Pearl Hakalan.
Yeah.
So we did that. We consulted with those who are already successful here. Asim Roy, for example, in the BPO industry, very successful. Other stakeholders atong gi-appeal sa journey, and I think it's just a fitting message because invest in Cebu, prosper in paradise. We are paradise.
Yeah, paradise.
That word paradise. But prospering in Cebu and the opportunities that are abounding here in Cebu is unparalleled. If we look at what we have, we really have the best of both worlds.
Yes, agree with that.
Prospering and paradise. So we can claim that statement.
Yeah.
And we have to keep paradise this way.
Yes.
So that's why we have sustainability programs. We want stewardship for the environment. We look at issues of congestion, for example.
Yes.
That's why we have good design, good business as a flagship of the Cebu business magnet. So and the many other things that we do in the chamber.
Yeah.
So it's really designed to making sure that there is alignment.
Yes.
And there is truth to what we claim to be.
Segueing to that, Pres Jay, I mean, you've been our president in the chamber for almost now a couple of years. So there is something of a strategy and a legacy that you'd bring. Like, what are the current programs in which you're really proud of, and what are the programs that you think that could be carried on? I mean, you're setting the goals, you're setting the pace, you're setting the foundation, as you mentioned. Is there anything that you would like to be carried on? Any particular program that you'd want to see, or a bunch of programs that you'd want to see to be carried on?
Yeah. So what we did the first year, so my term is a little over a year. The first year, what we did is to really define the agenda, and that is that acronym LEAD or leader.
Yes.
That sets the tone. That's the philosophy. It is a call to action, ready to launch, to engage, to activate partnerships, and to develop and establish, so that we will have visible results. So then we added another acronym, A must. So lead, a must, because really leadership is
It's a must.
It's a must. If we stop there, it's already a call to action. But as I mentioned, a must is an acronym. So the alliances that we want to bring in. So a must stands for Academe Industry Alliance. M is MICE Alliance, meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions alliance. We bring together the stakeholders and discuss how we can position Cebu. Then a must U is Utilities Alliance. Utilities means power, water, and broadband connectivity alliance. These are the backbone of our industries. No? So I learned in the many meetings we have in the power alliance that there is such a thing as clean power.
Yeah.
So that we are able to service high-tech needs of industries that are already in harmonics, etc. No? So these are things that needs to be discussed in an alliance setting. So AMUS is sustainability for the environment alliance. And also in terms of, say for example, urban congestion.
Yeah.
How can we sustain the kind of urban migration plus population growth that is very real, no? So we have traffic problems, we have health and sanitation problems. So these are things that cannot be solved by one entity alone, no? Or LGU. So it needs more. We need to expand the alliance. And then letter T is Trade and Logistics Alliance. We have always been a trading
trading hub.
since time immemorial. So wholesale and retail trade, and with it comes logistics issues.
Yeah.
So these are the areas that, although not an exhaustive list, that we believe if we start doing this right and bringing in the stakeholders to discuss in an alliance setting, I think we're in the right track. So we want to continue this as far as the chamber is concerned.
Definitely, Press J. With all the things that we've tackled, Press J, and with all the events and all the plans that we have in the chamber, would you like to say a bit of something to our viewers to invite them to our mini activities like the CBM, and even to be a member or to be a partner of Cebu Chamber? If you would mind, Press J, to tell our viewers.
Akong giawag no ang tanan, because as I said, ang vision sa chamber is to be the engine of Cebu's business growth towards global competitiveness. And it is also enshrined in our mission to have linkages. You know, we want to be the voice of business. We do programs, but we have inclusive programs. We even help the fisher folk, no, in Cordoba and Bantayan through partnerships with the Fish Visayas project. So ang akong awag is there's a lot of things we can do in the chamber. And kanang dili niingon nga para rani sa mga dagko, no? You can contribute, you can also be beneficiary sa mga program sa chamber. So I think the magnet for us is really unsay atong mahimo og matampo para ang Cebu mahimong globally competitive. And kung mag-globally competitive ta hasta atong mga tao, tanang tao, no, tanang Cebuano, then dako ang chance nga ma-successful ta individually, no? So mobalik lagi hapon gyud ni siya nato. So akong giawhag nga let's participate, no? The least you can do is invite ko nga apil sa atong mga attend sa atong mga programa. Cebu Business Month, for example, no? Daghan kay ta og ipang andam, entrepreneur summit, for example, good design, good business summit, MICE forum. So there's so many things, whatever industry that you have. For the other organizations, we'd like to invite you to be a partner of the chamber so that we can synergize the programs, no, atong we will avoid duplication. We can be effective and efficient with the resources that we deploy, no? Ano dili magdoble-doble. Kay sayang ang gasto.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of catching up to do.
Yes, Pres J.
Mao gyud na tinuod.
Well, Pres J, we talked about several things. What legacy projects were you looking at? Were there like some expected challenges or opportunities that you foresee in these?
One of the things that we have envisioned together with the Board of Trustees. By the way, I'm fortunate and blessed to have a board that is kind of very aligned to what we want to do in the chamber. And one of those things that we are unanimous is doing an innovation hub for startups and even have an SME center diha sa building na to sa chamber. We're going to renovate the second floor of the chamber so that we will have these facilities. Atong mga SMEs will have a rolling, for example, a rolling display or exhibits. And then we can have our startups have their kanang co-working spaces diha. We can have an innovation center together with the academe, the inventions of our students from universities, or even inventions coming from the Department of Science and Technology, which is a strong
Partner. Yeah.
partner. No? So this is a great opportunity nga gitanaw na to sa chamber nga mahataga na to gyud og not only attention but really a physical space nga naa gyud diha sa atong opisina sa chamber that can be accessed by the business community and the people of Cebu. So that's one of the things that we want to establish. I think it's very it's high time already na kanang ma-answer gyud na nato nga need ba sa diha sa chamber building. Of course, I'd like to invite possible partners, no? Kaya dili man ni barato atong gitan-aw, no? Very good design from architect Baxia. Nga mao gyud naghatag og kuan ani, we're done with the architectural drawings and the plans, so it's a matter of time that we will start this project. So very exciting. So I'd like to invite would-be partners who can provide whatever they can provide in terms of resources, in terms of know-how, no, or even in-kind donations, pwede pod, and also the prayers of the people of Cebu. Nga this will be used good for that purpose para mulambo ta.
Definitely, Pres J. Really exciting. Just to wrap up our episode, Pres J, today, we'll just like to come up with a couple of fun questions on like just on the lighter side. If you could go head to head on a golf match with let's say somebody like Tiger Woods, how do you think you'd fare against him? I mean, just a hypothetical.
Well, kanang an amateur like me, I don't think there's even the slightest chance, no? Kaya kani sila gyud kanang top caliber athletes, kanang kuan gyud kanang murag superhuman like gyud na kuan. So there's not even a comparison, no? But in terms of passion for golf and being competitive in the golf course, kanang that's included in the whole kanang fun of it. So my take on that is I always make sure na kanang at least I have the ability to be competitive enough, but not with the pros, but with the other amateurs. Kanang to maximize the enjoyment and the fulfillment is you need to have the minimum ability to be competitive enough. So anhan jud nimo makitaan ang lingaw diha. And the other golfers can relate to that.
Yeah, of course. The camaraderie and, the friendship. And last question, Pres J. You've traveled a lot. I mean, you were in China, in Urumqi, as you mentioned to us earlier. What's your favorite country? Maybe because it was fun, because you learned something. Among all your travels, like which one could it be?
Wow, that's a tough question. No?
Yeah, no, fair.
Tagan magyud. If there's one place nga I'd like to go back to not really the most favorite country, no? But my experience there sa past few days sa Urumqi, Xinjiang province in China. Very interesting, no? Kay mountain range. The other side is the dry side, or desert, and the other side of the mountain range is wet. And so many things to explore. I like to explore the mountains. We went to lakes, and you can see the snow-capped mountains. And I saw the list. You cannot even finish to explore the place in a month.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to go back.
Yeah, definitely, Fresh J. Something that I myself would want to go also,
Yes.
based on your stories.
Yeah. I also rode kanang
Camel is a
a horse.
A horse. Wow.
Kanang mga bitaw, makita na to sa lidang nga mga katogi pasabtian nila ni probably the breed is from the Genghis Khan
Genghis Khan, yeah.
era ba? The big horses.
Yeah.
So I had a good experience. I rode a horse. Not too bad, no? Not too bad. Pwede pa rin.
Definitely, Fresh J. Hopefully, you can invite me on your next journey there.
So, nandito Anto.
Yeah. Just to wrap things up, Fresh J, thank you again for taking time in your really hectic, busy schedule. With you, Fresh J, Padayon, Cebu.
Padayon, Cebu.
Okay, thank you.